Mark, thanks very much indeed. Manchester Royal Infirmary and the Children's Hospital in Manchester. Her Majesty the Queen has been visiting this morning. These are some of the latest pictures showing her meeting with staff and some of the relatives. We're going to listen.
We had to take some go home. So this is our amazing team, and Cheryl's going to do the introductions for you, ma'am.
Hello there. Jane Nicholson's our consultant who's on duty and coordinated, and Dr. Alistair Rennie, who's our consultant in the emergency department, who coordinated. Just take you through.
It did actually, but we had practiced actually a month ago, so it really went like clockwork from the organisation.
That was very fortunate, wasn't it?
Very fortunate.
Ma'am, can I just introduce to you a gentleman here who was the first on the scene as a paramedic from our ambulance services.
Where were you?
Your Majesty.
So you happened to be the first one, were you?
I was from the ambulance service.
Because a lot of you were there. I mean, there was a lot of ambulances appeared, didn't they?
There were around 60 ambulances.
But did you all practice? It's extraordinary.
Hello, Your Majesty. Yeah, we'd all practiced about a month ago, which it all worked like clockwork. Your Majesty.
Yes. And were you here?
I was, yes. I worked in adult A&E in the resource department.
Good morning.
And you were?
I'm Rachel, and I was here in the paediatric emergency department on the night of Monday.
So wasn't there was no knowledge of how many,
no,
or what age anybody was going to
no.
be?
So I was called in from home, as was Kathleen. She came in from home with
You
me,
also came in from home, did you?
and we had no idea what was coming through the doors at all. So it was just what came in, and we got calls to say we were on the way. So we were just dealing with everything, and the department ran as well because we had patients.
And the awful thing was that everybody was so young. The age of them was cruel.
I was a consultant here, so we should manage the flow. So it was traumatic, but
I'm sure, yes.
So be well.
You all work to do. Yes. I work to do.
This is a group of people from our call support services. That's everything from a radiology team who take the x-rays, a mortuary team who looked after the dead, theatre staff, our consultant anaesthetists who run critical care, theatre staff, Sodexo colleagues who run things like porter in the night team, security, and the lady here from our labs who made sure we got enough blood all night to across the city so that we could use that.
Majesty.
In the children's x-ray.
I cover the adults X-ray. Yes. Looked after all the above 16-year-olds.
So you all came in?
From bed, yeah.
From home, yes.
Yeah. I work in the mortuary, the children's mortuary, so kind of fits between the mortuary and the A&E to try and prevent the patients that came in.
And you?
Once people come to it's okay.
It's because there was a mixture.
Yes, there was a mixture of adults and children.
I was looking after the adult intensive care unit, so I was on duty at the time.
Oh, you were actually here?
I was actually here, yes, and then I organised facilitating people coming into the unit and getting colleagues to come in from home as well.
And were you?
I work in the theatres, pediatric theatres, we were called in. About 5 theatres already within an hour.
Really? It's because it was very late, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, I got the call about half an hour.
work in the portal services and security.
And I run the transfusion department here, so we probably issued about 160 units of blood and 18 units of plasma during the night.
And did I read that people have been coming to help with them, people have been coming to donate. Donate.
Well, oh my
I'm sure you might be able to shake hands with all of them.
So we've got quite a large group here. We've got colleagues from across Greater Manchester who responded throughout theatres, to our paediatric surgeons, to people at South Manchester who dealt with burns, to our colleagues from facilities who transported patients and goods throughout across the city.
Well, amazing to consider how many visits like this in the wake of terrorist attacks the Sovereign will have made, but this will be of a different order, really. The Queen at Manchester Royal Infirmary and the Children's Hospital with Shabutsit, talking to some of the first responders about how they've coped since Monday night's attack. Many of them working long shifts, coming in on scheduled days to work, extra hours, and try and cope with some of the workload that was so unexpected for them. We'll carry on listening.
Yes, a lot of the consultant surgeons at the regional hospital, so they came on the team operating through the night.
Well, you'll understand us playing those pictures at length, showing the head of state listening to the concerns and the stories of those clinical staff who, since the late Monday night, early hours of Tuesday morning, have been working so hard to save the lives of those who were so badly injured in many instances. Something in the order of, 23 remain in what's been described as a critical condition. Rhiannon Mills, our royal correspondent accompanying the Queen. Rhiannon, an important visit.
I think from those pictures, really it's closer to the Queen than we normally get on these kind of engagements. We can hear more of what she's saying. She has been on the ward meeting up with some of the victims.
So you'd seen the backstage first, hadn't you? So, yeah.
That's a very good thing you've been able to do, isn't it? Yes.
She's still saying you had a good night, didn't you? And enjoyed it and things, which is good.
Yeah, it was lovely.
And Rob, you were also hurt in the...
No, I wasn't hurt. No, I wasn't there. It was Millie's dad that was there. Yeah.
You were there?
I was there.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah. I think very alarming.
Yeah. And feel very lucky, don't we?
Yeah.
To recover.
Very brave, and everybody's been fantastic. You can't thank them enough. The hospital's been amazing.
Yeah, that's very splendid. And are you getting on now? Are you recovering?
Yeah. Every day.
I think it's the shock.
Yes, I'm sure. I mean, it's not something that you expect at all.
No, it's the last thing I expect. Just waiting for them to come out and then...
Just this.
And not to say.
Hello there. Morning.
Hello.
So you're from Harrogate?
Yes,
from Harrogate.
Harrogate. So you come especially for the concert, did you?
Yeah. For the birthday present.
Oh, was it? Oh, right. Yes. But you say you enjoyed it?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, she sounds very good. Very good singer.
She is.
I think everybody just got a real fright, didn't you? Yeah.
So, I just hope that it all mends quickly.
Hope so.
You feel a lot better today than you have been for a few days, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a shock, isn't it? You know?
Big shock. A really big shock for them, but for everybody, really.
Well,
Very
it's a dreadful
scary.
thing. Very wicked. And, to target that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's awful, really. Awful, but hopefully they'll mend.
Yes.
We'll get
But
better.
it's very interesting how everybody has united, haven't they, here?
It's been amazing, really. Really amazing.
It's helped.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, it's been, it has. Thank you.
My daughter's, she's just gone down to theatre. She's come out now. She's 12 years old, and she was with a friend. She'd gone to the concert, but myself and my daughter's friend, we were waiting, and my daughter's friend's mum, and she died. She was one of the ones that she died in the blast.
Yeah.
So, and at 12, she's got a couple of operations ahead of her. It just means such a lot that you've come today.
And what happened to you?
I had one of the wounds as well, shrapnel wound. So I think it's like nuts and bolts that everybody's seems to be having.
Absolutely dreadful.
Mine's gone through 15 centimetres out the other side, so I'm doing surgery later on this afternoon. So, yeah, but feeling okay about it, because when you see these young children, you just think, oh my goodness, need to get a grip here and sort of battle on. They just inspire you.
Yes, that's splendid, isn't it?
Everybody's just been so phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
It is very remarkable, isn't it, how they...
Restaurants and local shops that have been contributing food and toiletries.
It's wonderful,
because
isn't it?
we've literally arrived in the clothes that we had on.
Yeah, I'm sure, yes.
So
good. Well, I hope the surgery goes all right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rick.
Yes, because I mean, you were able to enjoy the concert at least, weren't you?
Yeah, it was very good, wasn't it? I really enjoyed it.
Were you at the
Yeah, I
concert?
was there with a friend as well of hers. She was okay.
She sounds rather a remarkable girl, as a singer.
Yeah, she's like backstage, isn't she?
That's very good, isn't it? So I hope it won't take too long for you to mend.
She's fed up a bit, wants to go home.
Yes, that's the goal, isn't it?
Yeah.
To be paid.
If I record it on my dictaphone as well?
Yeah,
that's fine.
Perfect.
Okay, ready.
Right, so first of all, do you want to tell me kind of what happened to you on the night and what injuries you had as well?
I have like a few like holes in my legs and stuff, and then I have a bit of a cut on my eye, and then just a bit of a cut there. But compared to other people, I'm like quite lucky, really.
Yeah. And where were you exactly when it happened? And were you in the foyer?
I was in the foyer, but yeah, I was just walking out to meet my dad because he was picking me and my friend up from the concert, and then it like went off behind us.
And what do you remember hearing exactly? Can you remember anything?
I just remember the explosion in my ears just started ringing for ages, and then there was just people like screaming and things like that.
Yeah, so it must have been really, really scary.
Yeah, it was quite scary, but just gotta get through it, really.
And what did you do straight after that then? So obviously the explosion went off.
My dad like ran over to me and like picked me up, and then like we tied like jumpers and stuff like around the two like main wounds in my leg, and then he just picked me up, and then we just like ran outside, and then a lot of like the paramedics outside and just like strangers were just helping us, really.
Must have been so scary. So you kind of saw it front on then?
Yes.
And what did you remember seeing from? So you were a slightly different angle then.
We were like basically at the top of the stairs, and like I said, my partner Jane, she saw a million Laura come out and started waving at them, and luckily they started like running towards us.
Yeah.
And the next thing it was just this boom, it was just white, and then it was surreal, it was just quiet. And I saw Millie at the bottom of the stairs, just ran down, picked her up. Jane ran down, picked Laura, we ran up the top just in case there was someone else going to go. And we actually ran until it was literally like a dead end, just to get out of the way. And I remember a man there, he was standing 2 foot from me, face bleeding, young girl, whatever happened to her leg.
Yeah.
And then I saw like Millie's legs, took me jumper off, Jane took her shirt off and just tied to try and stop the blood. And I just picked her up and I just said, look at me, just don't look anywhere else, look at me, because it was just, obviously you can imagine carnage, bodies and stuff. And then I literally got outside and just carried her all the way, just away from the basically, and Jane was with Laura, making sure she was all right.
Yeah, because his friend was with us too.
And she's all right, is she?
Yeah, she had an operation, and I think she went to Bolton Hospital, but she's home now.
Okay,
so she's okay.
That's good. And you said before you met Ariana Grande before the concert?
I met before the show because I won VIP tickets to like a competition for me and Laura to meet her. I only found out last week that it actually was, but yeah, she was really nice and she was lovely.
Yeah, it must have been so kind of going from one thing to the complete opposite.
It was mad.
It was a nightmare.
I think Millie's dad said when she was obviously being seen to and everything, all she was bothered about was wondering if Ariana was all right, and for telling people to go and see to other people who were more injured than her. And I think it shows what she's like, really, isn't it? You're amazing.
That's really brave of you, especially everything going on around you.
Thank you.
So how much does it mean for the Queen to kind of come here today and meet you? What was that like?
She's lovely. It's just like mind blowing, really. Like you just wouldn't really expect it.
You had a nice chat with her. She said she likes Ariana Grande as well. She's got a new fan, hasn't she?
Yeah.
So what's happening with you now then? So how long kind of do you think you'll still be in here? Do you have any idea?
I'm not overly sure.
I think they're still trying to like sort the pain relief and things like that.
Because we sort of live in the northeast of England, so we're not local. So it's not just a case of getting a home locally. So I think they transfer and care and things like that. So the hospital and everybody's been fantastic. The care, the support that's in place for such
me personally, our police and the paramedics and just unbelievable.
Yeah, I think even the members of the public, from what obviously I wasn't there, but the members of the public that's been there, not even just on the night, but even just like now, there's just the amount of messages and things like that.
Absolutely, he's not.
It's so lovely to speak to you as well. I do hope you get better.
Thank you.
Really soon. Get back home. Like your t-shirt as well. Amazing. Thank you.
Well, I think you'll understand why we've decided to play those pictures at some length. It was interesting that when the first statement emerged from Buckingham Palace in response to the attack on Monday, there was a vehemence to it which you don't always necessarily see. And certainly what we saw from the Sovereign there, meeting some of the nursing staff, some of the doctors, some of the nurses, many of whom have been dealing with those injured in Monday's attack. You sensed, particularly she was talking to Millie Robson, that 15-year-old, still wearing an Ariana Grande T-shirt from that concert. You got a sense of her deep personal interest in this. She described the act as very wicked. You could hear that quite clearly on the camera microphone. Let's go to Rhiannon Mills, our royal correspondent, watching those pictures and following the Queen up to Manchester. Rhiannon, what did you make of that?
Well, I think it gives us an extraordinary insight, doesn't it, into what the victims have gone through, but also the level of work that the staff have put in over the last few days since that attack happened on Monday night. What I'm really struck by is just how close we've managed to get to the Queen with these pictures, how clearly you can hear those conversations. And as you were saying, it was back on Tuesday that the Queen put out a statement in which she described Monday's attack as barbaric. And in those conversations with one of the victims there, she said that this was an evil act. I think for some of the patients, it was probably rather a surreal moment. But again, to us, a reminder of just how young some of the people were who were at that concert. So the young lady who we heard talking at length there, that was Millie Robson, only 15, from County Durham, still wearing an Ariana Grande T-shirt. There was also a poster on the side of her bed as well, hooked up to a little cuddly bear, just again showing her idol Ariana Grande. You also had 12-year-old Amy Barlow with her mum Karen as well, was also introduced to the Queen. And Evie Mills from Harrogate, just 14 years old, still in hospital with her mum Karen and her dad Craig. For the Queen, it was really important to come up to Manchester today. They didn't advertise this visit ahead of her arriving. They didn't want there to be too much of a circus around the visit, mainly because they appreciate that the hospital is still facing a very difficult few days ahead. They initially took in 34 patients at the Children's Hospital. 29 of them were children, 5 of them adults. An update on that, they currently still have 14 patients who are being treated inside the hospital, 4 of them in a critical condition. But I think in a way, it goes to show how much this means to the hospital and the patients today. On their latest tweet, the hospital itself saying that everyone at RMCH, patients and staff, really appreciated this morning's visit by the Queen. Thank you for your kind words and support. And that really was what today's visit was all about, was for the Queen to come here and show that the royal family want to pay their thanks to everyone who worked so hard on Monday night into Tuesday morning, continues to support the families and the victims who were involved. But also, I think, very importantly, here as head of the nation, showing that the whole of the country really stands with Manchester and has been thinking about Manchester and what it's been through over the last few days.
Rhiannon, thanks very much indeed. Let's turn to our